Hello everyone, welcome to this Greek lesson all about the internet. To diaδικτύο. In this video, we'll go through simple but really useful words and phrases you can use every day when talking about the internet in Greek. This lesson is perfect for beginners and lower intermediate learners, and it is great practice if you're learning Greek for everyday life or preparing for the Greek language proficiency exam. Let's get started. Pause here if you'd like to read a quick tip about learning vocabulary. I also have a full video with more advice on learning in general, plus extra tips for building your vocabulary and grammar. Check it out when you have time. You'll find the link in the description below. If you are happy that you know the basics on nouns and articles, singular and plural, you can skip the grammar section of this video and go straight to the vocab section by clicking the link at the timestamp in the description of this video. If you have any questions, drop me a message in the comment section. Let's go over some key points for learning Greek vocabulary that will help you build a solid foundation. First, always check the ending of the word. In Greek, the ending tells you the gender almost every time. This is the key to choosing the right article. Second, once you recognize the gender from the ending, learn it along with the noun. Mastering gender early makes articles and adjective agreement much easier and saves you a lot of effort down the line. And finally, pay attention to the singular and plural forms. This lesson gives you clear examples to help you spot patterns and grow your vocabulary with confidence. Let's take a closer look at each of these points now. Now let's talk about the characteristics of Greek nouns. Understanding these will help you learn vocabulary faster and more accurately. First, the gender is easy to identify. Greek nouns follow predictable patterns, which makes it simple to match the correct article. Secondly, there are three genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. Knowing the gender helps you pick the right article and match adjectives properly. Third, Greek nouns change slightly depending on their role in a sentence, whether they're the subject or the object. This is important for grammar later on. And finally, the good news is Greek nouns follow easy patterns. So once you start recognizing those, it becomes much easier to know how words change. Let's keep going and see how this works with real examples. Just pause for a moment and read this slide. If you know the gender of the word, it sets the theme for the entire phrase. Knowing this is the second pearl of advice after the tips on learning the alphabet that I share with you. Know to identify the gender just by the ending of the word. This is the case 99% of the time, and the exceptions you can learn when they arrive in life. Imagine being correct 99% of the time. This is a huge advantage to you. If you know the gender, you can use the correct article. After that, it's easier to learn how to make the word plural. This is just a short introduction to gender, singular, and plural in Greek. To learn more, watch the full video lesson on Greek nouns and gender. In my lessons, I don't focus on grammar terms. I keep things simple and practical. But there are two terms I'd like you to learn because I know they'll really help as you go through the lessons. And they are nouns and articles. That's it, just those two. Understanding them will make everything else easier as we move forward. And now I'm just going to read what is on the slide. If you have any experience with the English language, you'll know what I'm talking about. What is a noun? A noun is a thing, anything. If you can put the word the in front of it, it's a noun. The dog, the car, the man, the happiness. In Greek we also say the George, the Mary, and the Kostas. Got it? And now, what is an article? Easy. The word a, an, and the word the are articles. We have an indefinite article, which is a or an in English, and a definite article, the. Okay, so let's learn the gender of a noun, or a thing. Greek nouns have one of three genders: neuter, feminine, or masculine, as you can see on this slide. Now, when a word ends in one of these 8 endings, it will tell you the gender of the word 99% of the time. The neuter endings are o, e, ma. The feminine endings are I, a, and the masculine endings are is, as, and os. Here is a quick obvious tip. If there's no sigma, the Greek s, then it is not masculine. Also, don't try to memorize these all at once. You will have plenty of opportunity to cover these again. Just gradually acquire them. Now you have had an introduction to the singular noun ending of genders. Here's the brief lesson on how to make singular Greek nouns plural. Let's take a look at the endings of neuter nouns. So when the word ends in o, you change the o to an a. When the word ends in I, you add an a. When the word ends in ma, you add a ta. Let's take a look at the feminine endings. When a word ends in I, you change the I to S. When the word ends in a, you change the a to S. And now the masculine. If the word ends in is, you change the is to S. If the word ends in us, you change the us to S. If the word ends in os, you change the os to I. Here is a tip. See the similarities between the feminine and the first two masculine. So, when you are learning Greek, right throughout your lessons, always observe the I and the a of the feminine and the is and the as of the masculine. They always have some kind of a relationship. When you see a masculine noun ending in os, they always operate by their own rules. View the lesson on gender, singular and plural for a more detailed explanation. Now, I already explained to you what an article is. Let's take a look at how they work. Again, we have the three genders, neuter, feminine, and masculine. We are going to discuss the definite article the for the purposes of our vocabulary lesson. Let's look at some examples. Let's take a look at the word the in all three genders. So for neuter, the word the for singular is to. The plural is ta. Feminine singular is I. And the plural is I. They have the same sound, just different spelling. Masculine, the singular is o. The plural is I. Let's look at some examples. These are practical examples using the definite article the. Neuter. To vivilium, the book. To spiti, the house. To mathema, the lesson. Feminine. I fili, the friend. I γυναίκα, the woman. I salata, the salad. Masculine. O fititis, the student. O andras, the man. O philos, the friend. Let's go over them one more time. Neuter. To vivilio. To spiti. To mathima. Feminine. I fili. I gineca. I salata. And masculine. O fititis. O andras. O philos. Now let's take a look at their plural forms. Neuter. To vivilio. Ta vivlia. To spiti. Ta spitia. To mathima. Ta mathimata. Feminine. I fili. I files. I gineca. I gineques. I salata. I salates. Masculine. O fititis. I fitites. O andras. I andres. O philos. I fili. Here you will have the opportunity to practice and learn the singular and the plural of each word, the pronunciation, and you will also learn to place the correct stress on the word. I will say the words slowly, I will repeat them, and I will exaggerate the stress on the word. Let's get started with internet vocabulary. To archio. To archio. Ta archia. Ta archia. I effarmoghi. Notice the rama sound at the end just before the I sound. I effarmoghi. I effarmoges. I effarmoges. I icona. I icona. I icones. I icones. Here we have a borrowed word, and mostly borrowed words do not have a plural form. To video. To video. Ta video. Ta video. I camera. I camera. I cameres. I cameres. O códigos. O códigos. I codiki. I codiki. To kinito. To kinito. Ta kinita. Ta kinita. Here again we have a borrowed word, and we use it the same way as we use it in English. To email. To email. Ta email. Ta email. Here we have a more formal word for the email. To electrónico mínima. To electrónico mínima. Ta electrónica minimata. Ta electrónica minimata. and another more formal word for the email. Η ηλεκτρονική αλληλογραφία. Η ηλεκτρονική αλληλογραφία. Οι ηλεκτρονικές αλληλογραφίες. Οι ηλεκτρονικές αλληλογραφίες. Η ιστοσελίδα. Η ιστοσελίδα. And the plural, οι ιστοσελίδες. Οι ιστοσελίδες. Η οθόνη. Η οθόνη. Οι οθόνες. Οι οθόνες. Το πληκτρολόγιο. Το πληκτρολόγιο. You'll notice the gamma at the end of the word in the last syllable. Τα πληκτρολόγια. Τα πληκτρολόγια. Το ποντίκι. Το ποντίκι. Τα ποντίκια. Τα ποντίκια. Again here a borrowed word. Το προφίλ. Το προφίλ. Τα προφίλ. Τα προφίλ. Το πρόγραμμα. Το πρόγραμμα. Τα προγράμματα. Τα προγράμματα. This can be used for a computer program, a television program, or any kind of printed program. The link here means a type of hyperlink, like a web address link. Or synthesmos. Or synthesmos. Οι σύνδεσμοι. Οι σύνδεσμοι. This is a different kind of link. Wi-Fi, mobile, data network. Η σύνδεση. Η σύνδεση. Οι συνδέσεις. Οι συνδέσεις. Το μήνυμα. Το μήνυμα. Τα μηνύματα. Τα μηνύματα. Ο υπολογιστής. Ο υπολογιστής. Οι υπολογιστές. Οι υπολογιστές. Ο χρήστης. Ο χρήστης. Οι χρήστες. Οι χρήστες. The account. This can be used for the bank account. It can be used for the account online. It can also be used for the bill if you are at a coffee shop, for example. Ο λογαριασμός. Ο λογαριασμός. Οι λογαριασμοί. Οι λογαριασμοί. Η γραμμή εργαλείων. Η γραμμή εργαλείων. Οι γραμμές εργαλείων. Οι γραμμές εργαλείων. Το ιστολόγιο. Το ιστολόγιο. Τα ιστολόγια. Τα ιστολόγια. Ο πίνακας ελέγχου. Ο πίνακας ελέγχου. Οι πίνακες ελέγχου. Οι πίνακες ελέγχου. Η σύνδεση. Η σύνδεση. Συνδέομαι. Συνδέομαι. Η σύνδεση στο ίντερνετ είναι αργή. Η σύνδεση στο ίντερνετ είναι αργή. Συνδέομαι στο διαδίκτυο κάθε μέρα. Συνδέομαι στο διαδίκτυο κάθε μέρα. Η αποσύνδεση. Η αποσύνδεση. Αποσυνδέομαι. Αποσυνδέομαι. How much does it cost? In a singular form, we have three ways of saying this. Πόσο κάνει? Πόσο κάνει? Πόσο έχει? Πόσο έχει? Πόσο κοστίζει? Πόσο κοστίζει? How much do they cost? Here we have the plural form, so more than one thing. Πόσο κάνουν? Πόσο κάνουν? Πόσο έχουν? Πόσο έχουν? Πόσο κοστίζουν? Πόσο κοστίζουν? Η αποσύνδεση από το Wi-Fi γίνεται αυτόματα. Η αποσύνδεση από το Wi-Fi γίνεται αυτόματα. In English we say happens automatically, and in Greek we say becomes automatically. Αποσυνδέομαι κάθε βράδυ πριν κοιμηθώ. Αποσυνδέομαι κάθε βράδυ πριν κοιμηθώ. Πόσο κοστίζει το κινητό με σύνδεση στο ίντερνετ? Πόσο κοστίζει το κινητό με σύνδεση στο ίντερνετ? Μπορώ να παραγγείλω online? Μπορώ να παραγγείλω online? Παρακαλώ, στείλτε μου τον σύνδεσμο πληρωμής. Παρακαλώ, στείλτε μου τον σύνδεσμο πληρωμής. Πού μπορώ να αγοράσω Wi-Fi router? Πού μπορώ να αγοράσω Wi-Fi router? Please note the informal use of the words log in and log out in the next few slides. Μπαίνω να δω τις τιμές. Μπαίνω να δω τις τιμές. Μπαίνω στο site τώρα. Μπαίνω στο site τώρα. Βγαίνω γιατί δεν βρίσκω τίποτα. Βγαίνω γιατί δεν βρίσκω τίποτα. Βγαίνω και μπαίνω ξανά. Βγαίνω και μπαίνω ξανά. Συνδέομαι τώρα. Μισό λεπτό. Συνδέομαι τώρα. Μισό λεπτό. Συνδέομαι από το κινητό μου. Συνδέομαι από το κινητό μου. Αποσυνδέομαι και ξαναδοκιμάζω. Αποσυνδέομαι και ξαναδοκιμάζω. Συνδέσου στο λογαριασμό σου. Συνδέσου στο λογαριασμό σου. Here are a few extra tips on learning vocabulary, such as pause and read, and I'm looking forward to meeting you at your first Greek lesson.